Hello again, this is John from funking.com. Welcome to another installment of our video website review series. In this series, we try to identify websites and resources on the web that are free or very inexpensive that we believe add a tremendous amount of value to the investment process. I would be remiss if I went any further in this series without mentioning John Mauldin. John Mauldin has built himself into what we would refer to as an internet guru. I don't think he refers to himself as an internet guru. I think he sees himself more as an analyst, as someone who works with hedge fund managers. But he has definitely followed the same pathway that you'll see a lot of the internet gurus and the self-help gurus follow. What is that? Well, he blogs frequently. He likes to put out a lot of ideas. And he also takes the time to interview the leading lights of the industry, of the financial services industry, primarily in the United States, but he also has partners in the UK and South Africa that he also talks to, and brings those views to you. And as a result, by melding that all together, really builds up his position as a tremendous resource, a tremendous guide, really, to the latest thinking of the leading lights of the financial industry. These are the people who are driving massive amounts of money through the market. And therefore, it's very important to know what they're thinking. How do you approach John Mauldin? Well, there's several ways to do it. I recommend that you start with his 2 free newsletters. The first one, Thoughts from the Front Line, down here, I'm highlighting it, are basically his thought pattern as he goes through. And you'll see it evolve over the weeks, over the months. You'll see how his thought processes change. Sometimes he's known as being a bit bearish, but I find him quite realistic, so I wouldn't put a bearish tag on him at all. The second thing that I really like about him, and I think what makes him such a good investor and such a good guide to the investment world, is his second e-newsletter, which is called Outside the Box. What he tries to do here is identify a piece of research, a report, a point of view, a thesis, which actually challenges a lot of what he's thinking about the market. And he asks for permission and republishes that review to his mailing list. And I find these two are fantastic resources as a source of ideas, as a source of new places to go to look for ideas. And I think that's a very important thing to do when you're doing your own investment, is to actually have that source of idea, to have challenges. We all have our own idea. We have our own thesis for where we think the markets are going and what's going on. But I think the outside the box really allows us to be challenged on a weekly basis and have those new ideas come in. For his business, which is basically feeding into a bunch of hedge funds, he has the accredited investor newsletter. I do not subscribe to that because I'm not interested in that one. Well, I am interested, but I don't want to become one of his customers just yet. I'll wait till I get a few more $1 million. And the other service that he has, which is not right here, but you can find it on the homepage, is his Conversations with John Mauldin. And what he does with this is, I believe it's once a month. I subscribed to it for about a year. I found it was a little more detailed than what I actually needed. But if you want to go beyond the thoughts from the front line and the outside the box, and you want to hear 45 minutes back and forth bantering about what's going on and go really in depth, that's actually a very good, very reasonably priced service to subscribe to. I did subscribe to it. I learned a heck of a lot, but like I say, I'm looking on a more global point of view, so it was getting very in-depth into the U.S. situation, which, while interesting and important, wasn't exactly where I wanted to go, so I let that subscription lapse. So to sum it all up, John Mauldin, an excellent guide, analyst, and internet guru for the financial services industry. I think it's someone you definitely want to keep on the radar screen. Since his 2 email newsletters are free and he has a list of over 1 million for each of them, I imagine, I would definitely go on, take a look at them. You don't have to agree with every newsletter he sends out, but I think reflect on what he has to say. I think it's excellent, and he will also point you to other resources that are excellent on the web. This is John from funking.com. I hope this review helps you to understand John Mauldin, and I hope that by subscribing to him, you can improve your investment process and hopefully your investment returns. Thank you for paying attention.